Let's get it. Let's get it. Today, man, we got a. Let me do this the right way, man. Let me read off the credentials the right way. The right way. We got an author. Let me go back. Let me see. I want to do this the right way because you deserve. Got an author, husband, father, speaker. He has millions of views across multiple platforms. William King Hollis.
Man, what's going on, King?
Welcome to the show.
Man, it's an honor to be on your show, man. First big podcast back home, man. I'm honored, man, and excited to share some great knowledge today.
Man, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a guest. And we're going to start off with the new book. Oh, yeah. The book is entitled Love Them More Than Your Demons. Tell us about that book. Like, what made you say, I'm going to write this book?
Some people may know, but, my father had passed away some years ago. I also lost my mom to a heroin overdose out here. And I realized throughout my life, man, sometimes some of those demons from losing some of my family, it started to bleed on friends, family, children, my wife. It started to bleed on a lot of people, and after my dad's death, my marriage and, once your wife gives birth to a baby, women suffer through postpartum.
Yeah.
And my father was, killed 11 days after my son was born.
Wow.
So she was still battling with that. I was angry, she was going through postpartum, and I just noticed myself bleeding on people, man.
Yeah.
Using my anger to, my anger was uncontrollable at some instances. And one day God put in my heart, man, to create something when I started to heal, to teach men not to bleed on their family, not to bleed on your children, your wife, your friends, your mother, your father. Don't allow your demons to have more power than the love you're supposed to have for your family. And I believe a lot of fathers have lost the mother of their children, lost relationships with their children, and because of their demons, because they wasn't brave enough to look them in their face. So this book talks about, using scripture, talks about how God, he appreciates men that's weak, because that gives him an opportunity to show his power.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's the basis of the book. Some of the drawing points, some of the chapters, the father wounds that shaped your view of masculinity, the shame that whispers to your broken, the whispers you're broken, and the power, how God uses that to use your story as a testimony. The fear that keeps you isolated when you were designed for brotherhood, and the cycles of pain. Unknowingly passing those down to the ones you love most.
Yeah.
So this is just a reminder to kings, man, to transform your life, man, and let them demons go, man, because it's gonna destroy you.
Yeah. I think, man, in the climate right now, men's mental health is very important. And I think it's great that you've written something I would consider an instruction manual to show men how to deal with themselves, deal with their demons. Because a lot of people, they don't have the instruction manual. They don't have the tools to look themselves in the mirror.
Absolutely.
And that was a big thing for me. Like, to your point of just facing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, what I had to do is I had to just look back at my childhood.
Absolutely.
Look at my childhood and see what I may have went through to be where I am today. So, man, I commend you on the book. Like, do you see yourself writing another one? Like, going forward, do you see yourself doing more work in men's mental health? Like,
absolutely. Right now, at this point in my life, I'm working on, becoming ordained as a minister. I plan on writing a lot of books, man. This
Excellent.
book is actually number 4 on Amazon. in the world of men's
Excellent.
Christian category. And, you know, I realized I got a amazing gift from God, man, to help the broken. I learned that a lot of people in the world talk about pain, talk about mental health, but, you know, it's on the surface level. It's some men that really reach that brink of getting ready to take their life and end it all. And I believe where we're from, we got this this veil that we put on ourselves to try to make it look like everything is cool.
Man, that's our favorite thing to say. How you doing, man? I'm good.
Yeah.
And everything is going wrong. My bad for cutting you off. Go
No,
ahead.
you good, family. And it's a disaster, man. That's the reason why, you know, some of these guys, they go in the street and they do crazy things, and people don't know it's really an act of suicide.
Yeah.
They some of them may know the word, may know the book. They don't want to take their life themselves, but they crash out.
Yeah.
And that's the term.
That's the term nowadays. Everybody crashing out.
Crashing out is a form of suicide to me. You know, it's a point where you know you're about to do something that causes extreme harm to yourself, either to yourself or your family. And that's what suicide does, man. And I learned this, man. Where we from, we got a lot of scapegoats. You know, people that lead young kings and queens to the slaughterhouse. A lot of people don't know what a scapegoat is. You heard the term, but a scapegoat is the goat that leads all the other goats up to be slaughtered. And right before they get to the slaughter, the scapegoat escapes to the left or the right.
Wow, I never knew that was a real thing.
Absolutely. That's what a scapegoat is. And in Pontiac, because we come from so much poverty, the trick and the illusion that they do is they flash a little money in front of poor kids that don't got much. Take advantage of little girls that don't have a father figure, or mother may be strung out on drugs, and it's grown men that sometimes messes with little girls. I call them glorified pedophiles, in my opinion. And what it does is it breaks a young girl's spirit. Yeah. It takes her innocence. It takes the glory that God places over her life, that she no longer feels worthy, because it's a man that's fighting his own demons, right. Destroying her. And with the young men, you know, they just looking for a chance to live for a moment. You know, a lot of people in Pontiac, some of them never even been outside of this city. Right. So I asked people, I was like, would you rob, steal, and kill for an opportunity to live just once? And a lot of people don't know how to answer that question, but it's true. A lot of these young kings have put their life on the line just to live for a moment. And, you know, what I preach and what I talk about is understanding your purpose, understanding that you don't have to do it alone. You know, there's going to be moments in your life where you keep going back to the same person you used to be. But what God is waiting for you to do, He's waiting for you to give it to Him. He operates at His best when you're in your misery, because that's the moment He can show you the blessings and the power that He has. And some people stay stuck in that position, man. They never break free from that childhood trauma. You know, a lot of people out here, they're very loud, very boisterous, profanity out of this world, curse like a sailor. But what if I told you that the person that you're displaying in this world into your city is really not you? It's the trauma from your mother yelling every single day. Your father getting incarcerated. Every birthday, he's in jail. Every football game, they never in the stands. Every event, they're never there. And what happens is you will start to adopt the same demons that your father and your mother carried. So, you know, at some point, it's a term that I say when you talk about the family tree, King. If a family tree is dying, don't try to bring it back to life. Replant another one. But this time, love it better.
Take care of it, water it.
Yes, King, yes. Make sure that it's taken care of, and make sure that you're building a new legacy and a life for yourself that's outstanding.
Man, that's great. So like I look at my life, man, and me and my brother had this conversation multiple times just about genetics and whatnot and where we come from. And I'm like, man, like looking at myself, you know, I have a wife, 3 children, and like we literally planting a new tree and growing a whole new family. And it's like we doing this to where our kids don't have to go through the same thing that we went through, deal with the same traumas that we've dealt with, experience the same things that we experienced. So yeah, man, it's always great. It's always great, man. That's a great analogy to plant a new tree.
And you know, addiction in our city.
Yeah.
Alcoholism, alcoholics. You know, all of this is like it's all pain that we suffer here in Pontiac. One thing we all got in common, what makes us a family, is the pain that we encounter. And sometimes addiction is not just an addiction, it's a disease, bro.
It is.
And once you get so engulfed in pain and you start to take that prescription, them drugs, whatever you take, it starts to cover it up just for a second. I compare it to stacking bricks on a shallow shelf. Eventually, those bricks gonna fall back down on you over and over again. In our city, I researched and realized that it's a lot of young queens that have been molested as a child, that has been taken advantage of as a child. And we come from this era where, I'm not going to the police, I'm not snitching, but I'm gonna let you know something. A monster is a monster, man. A monster is a monster. And if you neglect the fact to protect God, queens, you write yourself a one-way ticket to hell, bro. Because with a lot of people, how we live out here sometimes, a lot of people don't believe that Judgment Day is real.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's cliche when people talk about hell and they talk about heaven. But one thing I realize right now, people have become so hurt and broken that they haven't allowed God to come into their life. They haven't allowed Him to restore what the locusts have eaten. And God talks about this, man. He tells you that, you know, even Moses, even David, all of them question their purpose in life. And what God does is, you know, He'll leave that thorn inside of you, man, and you'll be doing good and you'll be on the right path. And then you'll look up, you'll ask God, hey, can you remove this thorn? Can you remove this thorn? And God say, no, it's not time. And then we got our people that get angry at God because they may have prayed for something and asked for something, but what they don't understand is no is an answer.
That no might be protecting you from yourself. That no might be protecting you from something that's down the line.
No is an answer, man. Sometimes God don't want to give you something yet. I was watching Steve Harvey interview the other day, and Steve Harvey was talking about him sleeping in the car. He was talking about, he kept asking God, well, I've been doing it, God. I've been doing it, man. I'm ready for a breakthrough. I'm ready for a breakthrough. And then God, he said God would say, no, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. And we give up on God right before He's about to do the breakthrough. And God put you through those trials and tribulations to test you, to see if you're prepared to receive the blessings that He gives you. Because He ain't giving you no blessings to shine on people.
Right.
Everybody out here is you know, they driving foreigns, renting foreigns, rocking the jewelry, but they stay in the same hood you stay in.
Yeah.
It's a
mirage.
Yeah,
man.
it's all
It's
a mirage. And I tell people, the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
Once you become honest with yourself, you will start to see some of those strongholds break off you, man. Because for me, I was living in Atlanta for the past 6 years. Had the privilege to, you know, be on major podcasts. Shout out to Parlay, one of my very, very good friends. Been around the music industry, did intros from On.B. Peasy and all these guys, man. And one thing I noticed about all these artists, man, everybody's searching for their true calling.
Yeah.
You feel me? They searching for something that they love so much that they'll do it for free. And unfortunately, in the music industry, you have to give up something to get to a certain level.
Yeah.
And a lot of these artists don't understand that facet. The music industry is not ran by Jesus. It's ran by the devil. And their whole job is to manipulate a whole generation of people, send them down the same painful roads that they went down, and continue a cycle throughout a neighborhood. And that's just not Pontiac, that's through inner cities all over America. But I believe that, you know,
I said this in my bad for cutting you off, bro. I said this in the record. I said, what can you expect when our communities have been robbed? No schools, community centers, and no jobs. Don't get me wrong, this is happening everywhere. People being ruled by the prince of the power of the air.
Oh, man. That's everything in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, for me, King, I made it my life mission to inspire the younger generation. You know, I made it my mission to inspire the young adults of the world. I've been blessed to, you know, receive the Ambassador of Peace Award in Kingston, Jamaica.
Sweet.
Spoke in the trenches over there. You know, we made history in Milan, did Milan Fashion Week. You know, Super Bowl commercials, Under Armour commercials with Stephen Curry. And what I realized is Pontiac has became a place where they would rather try to be you than support you. And it's like a, you know, that's one thing I noticed that's not in every city.
Man.
It's like when in LA, when I lived in Los Angeles, when they brother had something dope, everybody got behind them and said, hey, we about to push this.
Yeah.
In Pontiac, they be looking at you like, why he doing it? I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
It's a Willie Lynch mentality, bro, that we gotta break. And I believe with these new generations of brothers like myself, yourself, and other leaders that walk this city, I think we can truly make a change in the city. But you can't be afraid to tell the truth.
You can't be afraid to tell the truth, and then on top of that, you can't be afraid to support somebody, man. Like, I always say this, like, people should give others the opportunity to shine in the aspect of, all right, I know this person make clothes, I make clothes too, but let's get behind this person for the next 6 months to a year and see where it go. And then if it don't go nowhere, let's go to the next person and keep doing it. But like we was talking earlier, bro, collaboration is key. Collaboration is everything. Like, when I look at artists, like, everybody can't be the rapper.
No.
You can be the rapper, one person can be the manager, one person can be the videographer, all of that. But it's just, everybody's in competition with each other versus, hey, how can we make this one thing work, build it, scale it up, and then while we scaling up, we pulling up the next person.
And they don't realize it's only 60-some thousand people in Pontiac. If you ask everybody to bring $1 to the table, you can't even raise $100,000 for Pontiac.
Right.
So they don't understand. In this world, you know, we in Michigan.
Yeah.
Everybody know that, okay, we gangster, we got all this stuff, but that narrative keeps you down. It doesn't lift you up.
Right.
You talking about drill music and killing somebody that's 4 miles away from you.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And the life we have is a blessing. You know, I had the privilege of, when I spoke in Kingston, Jamaica, you want to talk about trenches, you want to talk about gangsters. Bro, it's less than 4 miles. They go around the corner and they beefing with individuals next door across the street.
Right.
And they shooting, they killing kids, they murdering all these babies from Pontiac to Detroit to Flint to all over, man. They became so comfortable of killing their own people, bro. They've been desensitized.
Yeah.
And beating on women, choking on women. The reason why most men beat on women because they don't love themselves, King. They don't value themselves. And some of our women have such a mouth that scorns men. And I noticed particularly in our community, you know, our women will talk like she is Debo. But she gotta understand, you talking to a man.
Yeah.
You are talking to a man. You are not designed to do that.
Yeah.
He's designed to protect you. You are designed to nurture him. And when you talking like me, how do I supposed to see you
Right.
how am I supposed to see you as somebody that I'm supposed to love for the rest of my life? A woman has a lot of power, because only in the womb of a woman can a man breathe underwater.
Facts.
That's how powerful she is. And until the woman understands her crown and understands who she is, start to fight that lust that she has in her heart. And maybe it didn't come from her. Maybe it came from a cousin or a brother. Somebody that, you know, your grandma, your granddad and them leave you home when you're a little kid and you experimenting. They doing all these crazy things with each other. Then they growing up like everything cool, but they really got a trauma that they can't understand. So, you know, I think between Pontiac, you know, even when I look at the politics, a lot of people just have a self motive when it comes to that.
Man, everything around here is motivated by self, bro.
And that's the destruction. That's why we destroy
everything, bro. Like everything, bro. Like it's all right. I'm gonna do this for you.
Yeah.
What you gonna do for me in return?
Yeah.
Versus, hey, this my man. This my dog. He running for this. I support it 1,000%. But that's just how it is, bro.
And you know, one thing people get misconstrued when it comes to God in general, man. They believe God is just this nice guy. God is definitely not your friend.
Yeah.
But he loves you.
Yeah.
Just like when your mama used to say, your daddy say, I'm not your friend, baby. I'm your mama and I'm your daddy. I expect you to live a certain way and conduct yourself in a certain way. And one thing I fear for a lot of my brothers and sisters in our community is that internal burning in hell, bro. Because they do not know what they are doing. They do not know taking advantage of these little girls, taking advantage of these young boys, taking great athletes and turning them into drug addicts, lacing some of the greatest athletes in Pontiac history, doing this evil, bro. Everybody pays, and if you notice, everybody that has the name of the big gangster, their death is treacherous. They sentences in prison is treacherous. So these people, our kids would rather go to the penitentiary than live life. That's how bad our city has become. And they try to cover it up with all this, we building this building. We got money for here. But why do our roads look like a third world country? You mean to tell me it took all these years for you to look at these roads and say it's time for a change? It took all these years for you to build up a youth facility for kids to go in and learn. It took all these years because it's selfish, bro.
Yeah.
They've been stealing from each other.
Yeah.
And the reason why our city looks the way it is right now, King, is because we had people that came before us that took advantage of the money that was supposed to help our city.
Yes,
and now you are seeing it burn because of their actions.
Their decisions. Man, like you spot on, bro. Like I just said this to somebody. I'm like, bro, like we dealing with years of bad decisions, and it's just finally starting to. Well, I ain't gonna even say it's fine. It's been showing,
Absolutely.
but it's showing like more than ever now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for me, it's really over with for the judging and looking at other people. The reason why I came back to Pontiac is because I'm the number 12 ranked speaker in the world right now.
Sweet.
This next journey of my life is bringing light to my city, bringing like-minded individuals into my city. Unfortunately, we got people in this city, but we can't use all of them. It's just not possible because you've been here. You've been here. What changed while you was here? So what makes you think? What makes you
been sitting in that seat for the past 10 years?
What you
look at our neighborhood. Look at our community. It still look the same.
Man, if somebody watching this podcast, they're gonna be watching this podcast from the city. I want you to get a notebook and write down every childhood friend that is deceased or in the penitentiary right now. Write down all these people. You know, Pontiac ain't always been like this.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, man, I used to see love, bro. I used to see elders that wasn't afraid to talk to the kids and tell them what's right and wrong. These kids have lost respect. Our reading level is at a 3rd grade level. And we live in America, man. We're a small dot on a map. And what we don't understand is our numbers coming together is stronger than an individual.
Yes, sir.
It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than any politician. Everybody has a motive here with everything they do. And you can see it on their body. You can see how they built. You can see their health. You can see how in their internal organs are dying. Because God works from the inside out.
Yes, sir.
And when you don't allow him in, you will see the damage on the outside. Everybody has a power mentality, bro. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be the person.
Everybody want to be the king, man.
But what about the babies, man?
Yeah.
When we going to hold some of these local drug dealers accountable for molesting and taking advantage of these little girls and kids? When you going to show the monster that they really are? You know, one thing about me and one thing about standing with God, you never really fear men. That's the first thing you lose when you ride with God, bro. Is fear of men and women. And the reason why so many people depressed is because they became so attached to the world and so detached from the kingdom. The world keeps you in bondage. It makes you keep up with norms. Makes you think you gotta have diamond chains and name brand clothes that most of the people getting from boosters. You ain't buying them, but you stunting like you somebody. Let me tell you who is somebody. Somebody is an individual that walks around and put his people before himself. Somebody is that father that goes home every single day and goes out in the morning time and put in work, but make sure he comes home with the bacon to feed his family. Somebody is the mother that goes and takes classes to become a registered nurse or to take her sons and her daughters out of the projects. We got stories of that. Somebody is somebody that's willing to die for what they believe in. That's why when I look at all these brothers in gangs and doing all these crazy things, bro, even some of my own family, I look at you like a child that's been hurt, and now you want to take it out on everybody else in the world instead of becoming what you needed to be, what you needed for yourself. That's why I created my book, man, because I want men to know how to strategically deal with their demons. We're not asking you to be perfect, but we're asking you to acknowledge the wrongdoings that you have done and put in more extra overtime to make it better. If you broke something, the first thing you try to do before you throw it away is fix it.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of men and a lot of women have broken Pontiac, Michigan, and they haven't even looked back to fix it. So as you have babies, you bringing your babies into a place where I say sometimes you can put your hand on the ground in Pontiac, Michigan and touch the devil's fingertips. Because the same brother that's smiling with you in the morning is the same brother plotting on your death when you laying down at night. They just can't stand to see another man doing something better than him. And we got to understand that a drug dealer is not a legend. That is a soul that's going to burn forever in the afterlife. And I promise you, the fire that's down there hotter than any fire that you've ever seen in your life up here. From what I heard is, hell is like an excruciating pain. Imagine somebody ripping your arm off and it grows back and they do it again. Cutting your throat and the throat heals and they cut it again. That's eternal, brother. That's for the rest of your days. You will burn there. I got into ministry because I knew that young men were tired of pastors that's going to go to hell through the church. You know, people go to hell through the church.
Yeah.
Not just what they do on the street. The reason why our kids don't believe in God because they saw their mamas going to church on Sunday, their daddy's going to church on Sunday, but on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they got a bottle in their hand. They got heroin. They got cocaine. They got pills. They're covering up pain that only God can get rid of. So the only thing it's going to take to change Pontiac, Michigan is individuals looking in the mirror and looking at themselves and asking themselves, do I love this person?
Yeah.
You know, it's scientifically proven that most men can't look themselves in the mirror for longer than 2 to 3 minutes.
Wow.
They can't look themselves in the mirror.
That was one of the first things I started working on when I started self-reflecting, bro. Every morning I would look myself in the mirror and I would just look and then I would say, I have peace. I am peace.
Amen.
And so that's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, it's
crazy.
all about self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me, King, I lost my mother to heroin. I lost my father to the streets. I lost my uncle to the streets. My great aunties to the streets. Everything that I ever loved was taken by these streets.
Why should I love him so much?
And if you want to know the power of God, bro, anybody that I may walk past in Pontiac, anybody that I may see, I want you to know that if you ever had anything to do with that, I forgive. Because anger and vengeance is not mine. It's the Lord's. It's something you got to live with. It's a lot of people that soaked and pulled all the love and nutrients out of Pontiac and they just left. They left it to die. Now when you look on the internet, all they do, I'm talking bad about Pontiac. But when are you going to take accountability for what you did?
Thanks.
Who you killed? Who you set up? And that's why when I walk around here and I see kids that I went to high school with looking like zombies, looking like people I can't even recognize. You know, I see people sometimes, man, and I can't even believe that it's the same person. Because the devil is sucking the life out of them. And they don't know how to get them off. And all it takes is submission. Some people ain't come here. Since I've been in Pontiac ain't paid me nothing. I went to Pontiac High my 4th day back in the city because I just wanted to pour into my city. People jealous of me because of my accomplishments and everything I've done. And they look at me and say, hey, I want to help this kid. I want to put this kid in front of the people. But you know why they can't do it? Because I awaken demons that they try to keep buried, bro.
Speaking truth to power.
I awaken demons that they carried for so long that they became a part of their family. The reason why that little boy and that little girl was on Percocets every day is because she watched her mama and father do the same thing. The reason why that man go around molesting little girls is because he watched his peers do the same thing. It's distasteful to see our city lose all its morals. And one of the greatest sins you can do is to take advantage and abuse God's children.
Yeah.
And everybody you see, from the nonprofits, from all of these different things, they have their own motive. They show their glory in what they've done more than they show the children that they help. Just because you put together an event don't mean you helping children. Events don't help children. Therapy helps children.
That work.
Truth to power helps children. Holding yourself accountable on how you live in these streets. You think I'm going to listen to a man talking about I want to save my city, but in the middle of the night he's smoking weed and he drinking liquor? I can't take you serious. You a part of the spirits. Our city don't carry accountability, man.
That's the baseline of it all, bro. The accountability. And then when you try to hold somebody accountable, they feel like they being attacked. Or they look at you like, who are you to hold me accountable? When I'm just holding you accountable to what you said you was gonna do.
And you know why? If you look back, I was watching E. Stuckey, the legendary drug dealer back in Detroit back in the day. And I listened to one of the gangsters as they explained why they followed E. Stuckey. They said, we follow E. Stuckey because E. Stuckey didn't drink, E. Stuckey didn't smoke. See, some people just gonna look at him as a dope dealer, but what I see, most of these drug dealers, they're revolutionaries, they're leaders. But they allow the material things of the world to overtake their purpose. And out here, nobody's listening to nobody because everybody's sinning in the dark. If I see a man that say I want to change my community, but when I go to the liquor store, he in the same liquor store getting the same bottle I'm getting, why you think I'm gonna take him serious?
Yeah.
When I go pick up my weed and you pull up to the dope house and you see the same person at the dope house, you're never gonna change, bro. It take leaders. It take leaders, bro, to change Pontiac. And when you look at our voting numbers, you look at all these people sat in their homes talking about how bad this place is, but won't even get out and vote for the people that can change it.
Yeah.
And this is the truth. Pontiac don't need no outside mayor. Pontiac needs a Pontiac man.
Yeah.
That's why I endorse Kermit Williams. It's one thing about that man when I looked him in his eyes and I met him. Kermit is sincere about saving his people and helping his people. And if he was to do anything different than that, his persecution only gonna lie with the Lord. Us men and women can't never do it. But for years we allow people that don't love us, that don't come from where we come from, that haven't went through the pain we went through, to run a city that they don't even understand.
Don't understand our issues.
It's a dark cloud over our city like a curse, man. And it's a reason why everybody that comes home, when they visiting from out of town, they can only stay for 1, 2, 3 days. They're ready to get back out of here because they realize that it's something that's holding us back.
Man, this is like, I wanted to have these conversations with you off camera, bro, about everything that we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that you've seen it already. Like, to hear you say all this, like, just lets me know that you in the right vein. You know, you doing the right work. Cause I was like, man, I hope that bro get to see like what it is, and hopefully that would keep you here. Because I'm telling you, bro, most people, they can only take so much.
What God done for me, King, is I got an international fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I got more fans on my Instagram page than I have people in Pontiac. We have people in Pontiac.
Yeah.
Pontiac can't give me nothing. But God told me when it came down to this city, I said, God, how can I help Pontiac, Michigan? He said, Will, you got to give without wanting nothing in return. Are you willing to do that? And I am. It's not about what you can give me. It's about kids that grew up just like me. Walking in, seeing their mothers high. Walking in, seeing their fathers and getting phone calls that their father's been shot. Your father's in a hospital. Your father's in a penitentiary. And I realize a young man that doesn't have a father to raise him and teach him how to be a man can never become one. You know, it's a scene on Boardwalk Empire that changed my whole perspective when it comes to dressing, when I'm out amongst the world. In this episode, Al Capone was escorting this Jewish man. And everywhere he went, the Jewish man would say, "Thank you, boy. Go get me a cup of water, boy. Go get the car, boy." And one day Al Capone got fed up. He said, "Why the heck you keep calling me a boy?" He said, "Because as long as you wear the hat of a boy, you will always be perceived as a boy." Key words, whether you like it or not. And when you look around Pontiac at our uncles, our cousins, our big homies, they look just like the kids. So our young men don't even know what a man looks like. Money doesn't make you a man.
Facts.
Responsibility makes you a man. Accountability makes you a man. A car don't make you a man. A chain don't make you a man. It's what you do every single day that's sacrificing yourself for your family is what makes you a man. And if you never sacrifice nothing, I promise you, you never done nothing in this world.
Man, just learning and becoming a man and learning that it's really almost all 100% just about sacrifices alone. The sacrifices that you make for your kids, the sacrifices that you make for your wife, the sacrifices that you may make for your family just in general. Like, that's one. And I think that might be one of the things that break most men is because they feel like they can't carry all that weight. So instead of carrying all that weight, they run versus saying, "Hey, I made these kids. I got to take care of them. These are my responsibilities." So yeah, man, this sacrifice and manhood is one of the key words.
One thing I realized being at Berea Family Tabernacle, I'm a youth pastor over there with Pastor Rutherford.
Shout out to the brothers, man.
And one thing I realized is this, King, it never was meant for you to carry it by yourself. God is waiting for you to put it in his hands. You know, a lot of people got a lot of confidence out here, but they don't have a lot of faith. They've been hurt, stabbed in the back, and taken advantage of so much. They can't even trust, man. They can't believe in man's words no more.
Facts.
Pontiac is going to need action. Not just showing up at parks, taking pictures with people. Not just loving on people when the camera's out. But I'm talking about at nighttime when that man is walking down that block looking for a hit of heroin. Or looking for crack. Or looking for ecstasy and Percocets. We're full of designer junkies. Designer junkies. Men dressed in all the Louis, the Gucci, but you're a drug addict. You just cover it up better. We got some of the best functioning junkies you'll ever see in your life. We got some of the best, dog. But when they lay down at night, their soul is condemned. They're hurting and they're broken. It was a sweet, innocent girl that was supposed to become a lawyer or a doctor. But because her family was poor, that local drug dealer came in the middle of the night and was having sex with her.
That used to be a thing when we was in high school.
Ain't it disgusting, bro? Talk about it. Talk about it, dog.
And we come to school, see dog pull up in the nice car. Girlie go get in the car with her. And we just be like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, that was the norm, though.
That's crazy,
That was the
bro.
norm. That was the norm.
And if you look at all the women that used to do it, you just look at them now. nodding, on drugs, becoming exactly what God intended us not to be.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
It's, go ahead.
but I realize this, King. Persecution has no expiration date when it comes to God. If these men and people in Pontiac don't start to repent and don't start to come towards God, don't start to come out that house on a Sunday and stop believing in man, believing that God is not real, you're gonna live in hell on earth, and you're gonna live in hell afterlife. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible life to live, bro. And people want to know, Will, how you quit smoking weed? How you quit drinking liquor, cold turkey? Because God spoke to me and he told me, he said, I made you to be more. I need you to step into the responsibility that I've given you. And I need you to go home to help your people, to be a light to your people, that show them that us people from Pontiac, Michigan, man, the things I've done being from Pontiac, Michigan, I've been awarded and celebrated in other cities more than I ever was celebrated at home. But this was written.
And one of the things that I say now just about ministry, man, is people need to see something real behind the pulpit. What's your story? Because whatever your story is, it'll be relatable to the individuals that's within the church. Like, if I ain't never been through nothing, then how am I going to be? How am I going to be able to be relatable to my congregation? And that's the lack thereof in most churches. Like, people can't relate to the pastors. Like, so for an individual like you just saying, like, I was smoking, I used to drink, but I quit cold turkey all through the grace of God. Like, or just your whole testimony as a whole, bro. Like, people need to hear that, because most of the time, people don't see that God can deliver you from whatever you're going through.
See, the ingredient is conviction, but the most powerful ingredient is love. When you can love on people that's not perfect, when you can see the good in people when everybody else hate them, that's when miracles start to happen, King. And that's why I chose ministry over just being a motivational speaker. Yeah, I can make you feel good for a moment, but I was convicted to lead my people to something powerful than myself. Because I spent my whole career motivated and inspired by what people told me back home, that what I couldn't be. I was a special ed student. Barely could read till I was 16. I went to California and barely had the grades to even enroll in the school. Shout out to my principal, Mr. Johnson. He know what he did. He helped me. I'm not saying that it's not good people here at home. What I'm saying is it's walking zombies. And they don't know that they can be brought back to life with just the power of God, man. He is so worthy for us in our praise, bro. He does so much in my life where I never thought I would ever go to some of the places I've been to and do some of the things that he's still doing in my life. When I dropped my book, August 11th, I had no idea that this would be a bestseller. This book was specifically written for Pontiac.
Sweet.
But the world loved it.
Like, what I like most too, bro, like, is you dropped a manual, bro. Like, to live by day to day. Right? Most people well, I can use myself as an example of being in ministry, and most people, they preach, but the teaching aspect is missing. So a person may go to church on a Sunday, but now I gotta live from Monday to next Saturday.
Yes, sir.
So how do I get through the day to day, right?
And it's about getting in that Bible. It's about reading that Bible just as much as you search on Instagram. That word is sufficient enough.
Yeah.
But we don't. How many people can't tell me? You look at most people's phones like, you got the Bible app. Even if you Muslim, you say you Muslim. Do you read your Quran? Do you really take intimate time to talk to God?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people think it's crazy, man. But the ones that think it's crazy is going crazy.
I'll tell you, bro, like that's been my biggest thing of my entire adulthood, has just been my relationship with God. Like, cause I started in ministry, bro. Like, I was in ministry for like 7-8 years, going from church to church, rapping in churches, and back in like 2017, 2018, like I kind of like, I left my home church. I went looking for another one, but I just really been just out here, just really maintaining my relationship with God and whatnot. But it's just like stuff like today, it's just like, cause I've been really like, man, what's my purpose? Like, God, like what direction, what direction I'm going in. So man, today has been divine in a sense, bro. It has. Cause
people always say, I got my own relationship with God. I do my own thing.
Yeah.
But when we gather, He's present, bro.
Yeah.
You want to know why? You want to know why we go to church? It's because when He see those 2 or 3 gathered, He makes Himself known, bro. Yeah, He's with you all the time. But God is not about no one man.
Right.
He's about all people. And one thing about being a father, being a business owner, God can transform your business without marketing and PRs.
Facts.
He can uplift your entire brand, give you a makeover by just submitting to Him. And I'll give you one better. He will bless you even before you praise His name. There's a lot of people out here that have been blessed, but they think it's them.
Yeah.
Got blessings that they couldn't believe, and they thought it was them. And that's how amazing our Father is. You gotta say His name.
Yeah.
Jesus is King.
Yeah.
Yahweh is King. And as long as you put Him before anything you do, the rest, you won't be frustrated. You won't stress out. Even if you barely got enough money to pay your rent, and it's 2 days before they about to put your furniture outside, you gotta trust in Him.
I'm good. I'm gonna make it.
That He gonna make it happen. Because once you lose your faith, you lose your life. The moment you think you made it is when you start back at the beginning. Wake up humble every single day, man, and live for the King. And do what you love, because God loves what makes you happy.
Man, this has been great. Like, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Most definitely. I want to say to Pontiac that,
You look right there at the camera.
I know a lot of us have lost family members, friends, brothers, cousins. We got people on the east side, west side, south side that have something to do with killing our families. But what I want you to do today is, I want you to forgive them. This city is so small and we are all we got. And in order for us to change this, we can't wait on politicians. We can't wait on fake community leaders. We got to come together as a people and realize that we have children now. We have little brothers and sisters that we want to create a better life for. God will take care of the evil. He always does. But come judgment day, because you never know what day you're going to leave this earth. Don't be the one that dies and the only thing remembers them is the dirt that covers them. Drugs are not more powerful than Jesus. Alcohol is not more powerful than Jesus. Sex is not more powerful than Jesus. Prostitution is not more powerful than Jesus. And say their names. You baby girls that's being molested and taken advantage of, you say their names. In Pontiac, we need to stand up and fight for our babies.
Facts.
Because if you don't, you will have a race of babies that hate each other. I love you, Pontiac, and I'm here to work with you, baby. If you ever need my help, just contact me.
Man. Today has been one for the ages. Make sure y'all follow William King Hollis everywhere. Make sure y'all get his new book. It's on Amazon. What's the name of it again, brother?
Love them more than your demons.
But until next time, it's been a great